Ooh,
Made for a family audience.
it's just, hey, smile and wave. You know what? It is what it is. I've said all along, you are what you put on tape on Saturday afternoons, and obviously we didn't play very good. Don't know why. I'm still in the process of figuring out. But I've done this a long time, and I'm not going to panic. We're not going to panic. We're going to, old school coach, you go back to the basics, and you go back to stance, you go back to alignment, you go back to, reading your keys and doing your job, and it all sounds good. For whatever reason, they went out there, and I don't know, first time in front of a crowd. I don't know what it was, but not acceptable. I take the blame. It's not their fault. They weren't prepared. That's your job as a coach to get them ready to play. And Sam Houston was better than most people thought they were. I knew they were pretty good. Now, were they that good? No, but they were Saturday. So obviously, we got a lot of corrections to make. We'll get started this afternoon at practice, and build off the turnovers, which is probably the only positive we had. Didn't tackle well, didn't line up well. Played a lot of guys, so I guess that's good news. But we'll get back to work this afternoon.
Coach, it was 4 turnovers, I think, and also one including on downs in that second half. But how did they grade out from the first half to the second half, just based on assignments and where they were supposed to be?
They obviously got better. They got more comfortable with the game. Half the fans left the stadium, so it was probably a little more quiet, so they could communicate a lot better. A lot of it was communication, but that's not an excuse, because going in it's going to be loud, and they knew, and just didn't get it done. There was improvement. You'd have liked to see them finish the game, but got tired. I mean, I got a bunch of excuses, but bottom line, didn't get it done, and we got to play better this week.
Coach, from what you've seen, what makes Aaron Jones, their running back, just such a great player?
He's just elusive. He's hard to tackle. I mean, Arkansas, there's 4 or 5 times Saturday where they couldn't tackle him. They ended up pushing him out of bounds. He rushed for 70-some yards against them, and just the way the game got out of hand, they couldn't hand it to him every time. But I'm sure he'll get it 40 times against us. So we got to find a way to tackle him and just slow him down. You're not going to stop him. He's too good a player. He's obviously was under-recruited coming out of high school. He's a big-time player.
Eric, it looked like you guys maybe are a little more big play capable this year than last. Do you see some of that?
Yeah, no doubt. Had a lot of explosions, as many as we've had since we've been here. In the passing game, I think we had, over 13 explosions. We had 4 in the run game. And, it's just the guys are a little bit older. They're playing faster. And obviously there's a lot of things out there as a coach. The film's as good as we have to teach off of. I mean, there's some small things that are so little that are costing us, some big chunks of yards. And, obviously the 2 I mean, I think I counted up. I made them chart it yesterday. So, like 92 yards off of penalties, and that counts. We have 2 explosive plays, and penalties come back that are, that's inexcusable. It's stupid, and we got to get that fixed immediately. And then, on the 8 drops that we had, 173 yards that we left out there. So you think, I mean, a much better starting point than where we were right now last year at this point. I thought 5 did a great job of getting in and out of some good plays. Obviously, when it breaks down, he can do some stuff that's fun to watch. But we're just this close from really being like ultra explosive. So it was good to see. It was good to see some of the freshmen. Didn't. They're just not right. I mean, same thing. You saw it last year. I mean, first pass we threw to Ian Sadler at UTEP. It's going to be a 60-yard touchdown, and he looks nervous as all get out, and he drops it. And so saw some of that with some of the freshmen. I thought Jonathan Giles, he's probably the best freshman we had. His look was really good before the game. He played hard. He played smart. He got open on some stuff. He didn't get the ball, but overall, there's a bunch of stuff that's bad with the tape. Don't get me wrong, but a really good starting point. And week 1 and week 2, we have to make a big jump on some execution things.
Kingsbury talked about the lack of a killer instinct there at the end. How do you address that this week?
Yeah, I think that's got to be handled by our players. You know, I mean, it's something that we sit in here and talk about, and we have older guys, you know, that are, you know, and you know, LaRaven and Jakeem and guys that are putting out some great individual efforts, but at some point those guys, I mean, all the good players I've been around, and you have that, it comes in a huddle with them together, and some of those leaders saying, hey, come on, let's bury these guys right now, you know, and so hopefully, you know, some of these players, I mean, they've even made points of emphasis about it. So hopefully we can get some of these key leaders that are, I mean, you watch LaRaven, I mean, he has this guy on the ground the whole entire game, but at some point, we have, as a team, we have to feed off that mentality, and he's got to do a better job. Him and Jakeem played outstanding, as good as he's played here, you know, throughout the course of a whole game, not just catching the football, but blocking. And so same thing. I mean, he's a fiery guy, and he's got to get, you know, when it gets in those situations, we have some guys that I think have the ability, and they have to do it in the huddle and get those guys, you know, going a little bit.
UTEP, what do you kind of expect out of them?
Same thing that we saw last week. I mean, they're really similar. They're going to pressure a lot. They're going to play similar man coverage, one high. You know, safeties are extremely aggressive. It's a little bit. They have some young guys in the secondary. I mean, they started a couple freshmen last week and a freshman nickelback. Obviously, the film against Arkansas doesn't give us a good judge of kind of if they've changed anything. So I thought they had some success against us last year, and so I don't know why they wouldn't come out and do what they did last year, which was similar to Sam Houston. So same thing. I mean, we're going to have to continue to beat man coverage, which we did a better job of this last game, and you know, we'll try to get some of these playmakers in space and try to get them going early.